So at this point, we can probably say with certainty that GPT-5 is about to get released. Now, it might not be called GPT-5, and there might be some smaller model releases until then, but the process of deploying that next generation model into the world is about to begin. Speculation was that the mysterious GPT-2 chatbot that was briefly available for testing in the chatbot arena, that perhaps that was GPT-5 or GPT-4.5. But it looks like Sam Altman said that in his speech at Harvard University, Altman told an audience that the mystery bot is not GPT-4.5, what many see as the likely next major update to GPT-4. Now, last year, Sam Altman and Elon Musk agreed to share their closely guarded artificial intelligence models with the British government. However, the organization behind it, the AI Safety Institute, is failing to do that because it's not getting their hands on the model before they're released. Meta spokesperson said you can't have these AI companies jumping through hoops in each and every single jurisdiction. And from our point of view, of course, our principal relationship is with the US. OpenAI and Meta are set to roll out their next batch of AI models imminently, so Meta's Llama 3 already rolled out the 7 billion and the 70 billion versions, but we are still expecting the big one to roll out, the 400 billion plus parameter Llama 3. And of course, OpenAI's GPT-5. And they're saying the new models will show progress in solving hard problems in AI, such as reasoning and memory. Now, you, of course, remember Anthropic, which was a spin-off from OpenAI, but one that was more focused on interoperability research for these AI models, more focused on safety. Claude 3, the large model, the Opus, once it rolls out, it was very impressive. In some ways, much better than GPT-4. I personally found in certain use cases that it exceeded GPT-4's ability, especially when it came to being a little bit more, I'm going to say it's self-aware. There was just something going on there that made it seem like it was just a little bit more there than the other models, perhaps. I'm not getting woo-woo, I'm just saying that it had that appearance. But leading AI firm Anthropic, which rolled out its latest batch of models in March, has yet to allow UK Institute to test its models pre-release. Although they said they're working with the body on how pre-deployment testing by the government might work. And they're saying it's a nice idea, but difficult to implement. So, and this is kind of the big point of this article, the AI Safety Institute has only managed to gain access to models after they are released to the public. Only the London-headquartered Google DeepMind has allowed anything approaching pre-deployment access. And this is from the MIT Technology Review. Sam Altman says helpful agents are poised to become AI's killer function. In an interview, Sam Altman saying, what you really want is just this thing that's off helping you. He's describing this killer app as an AI. This idea of just this thing off helping you, I mean, it has myself and a lot of you very interested. The idea of having an intelligent worker executing things on your behalf certainly seems like the holy grail of productivity. The idea of running a business using a set of these. One of my favorite tweets this week was, in a limit, running businesses will get similar to Factorio, except you'll be managing your AI agent's factory. Factorio, for those who maybe haven't tried it, is this game where you build up these complex systems of automations that you kind of meticulously optimize to create the highest possible output. It's one of those games where you either will hate it or become absolutely obsessed with it, and there's no middle ground. And if you know, you know. But that's what Sam Altman is saying will be the killer app of AI. He's describing it as a super competent colleague that knows absolutely everything about my whole life, every email, every conversation that I've ever had, but doesn't feel like an extension. It could tackle some tasks instantly, but, and this is where it gets interesting, for the more complex tasks, it could go off and make an attempt, but come back with questions. And I think what they're missing here too is it could run for a while to try to execute those tasks, collect info, gather data, build software, produce images, whatever it is that you need, just like you would hand off a project to an intelligent coworker, a competent coworker. You don't expect them to respond right away. You expect them to go away, disappear from eyesight for a while, have them work on it and come back when it's done. You don't have to manage them or think about it. You only see them again when they come back with the completed project. Altman briefly talked about the AI's hardware future. If you haven't been following along, the various AI pieces of hardware, the wearable tech that's coming out, well, they're not getting a very loving reception. The wearable AI pin from Humane, for example, had such a bad initial introduction, initial tech reviews, that it was said that maybe these tech reviewers shouldn't be able to give such company-destroying bad reviews. And of course, drama ensued, but the point is, so far people aren't liking it. Now, as we've covered in this channel, Sam Altman is rumored to be working with former Apple designer Johnny Ive. So Johnny Ive was almost a protege of Steve Jobs, worked for physical hardware design under Steve Jobs, so probably knows a thing or two. I mean, he's seen as a very, very impressive expert in that field of hardware design in the industry. But Altman says there's a chance we won't necessarily need a device at all. I don't think it will require a new piece of hardware. And he's saying that Sam Altman, may not be the perfect person to execute on this. They reiterate that they're pursuing artificial general intelligence. And by the way, at some point he did say that GPT-4 will be the dumbest model that most of us have worked with in the future. Yes, saying that all the impressive aspects of GPT-4 we will look back at and laugh as the very early, very dumb forms of AI. And here's where Sam Altman answers when we'll see GPT-5. A reporter asked Sam Altman if he knew when the next version of GPT is slated to be released. And you'll never believe what happened next. This changes everything. Shocking, stunning. Sam Altman says, yes. Dun, dun, dun. And yeah, that's the end of the article. Yes. Yes is the answer to that. But if I have to guess when they're going to announce it, I think this date is going to be important, May 14th. That's the Google I/O. OpenAI loves stealing the thunder from Google. You know this, we've seen this, so I think they're going to be very tempted to drop something very near to this. And some people are saying they might know what that thing is. Now, keep in mind, as Sam Altman himself said on the Lex Fridman podcast, there isn't just like one thing. It's not like, here's GPT-5 and that's it. It really does seem that there are multiple, I don't know, pieces, multiple parts that will be released. What could those parts be? Well, here's Jimmy Apples, who at this point, more and more, again, we've been following him for a while. He obviously has some non-publicly available info. Whoever he is, I have my thoughts, but he's saying 10 a.m., 9th of May for an OpenAI event, apparently. This might not be the model release, but search engine announcement. We've covered the fact that OpenAI has been working on search engine, some sort of a search engine in the background. We didn't know whether that's going to be part of GPT-4 or its own thing, but OpenAI was advertising for an in-house events staff and events marketing back in January. They just hired an events manager last month. Any potential in-house event that they want to run that potentially will be an announcement of the next model, whatever Sam decides to call it. And of course, they were very busy. There are various ChatGPT subdomains that pop up every once in a while. And sometimes they can give a glimpse into what OpenAI is working on. We've looked at it in the past. It's interesting, but it's hard to get any real data out of it. But it's kind of fun because you kind of get to see the various directions that they're thinking about. In other news, I posted a few pictures, some personal pictures of myself on this channel. I use them usually when I'm testing out things like the Upscaler or various other AI image tools. I'm sure you've probably posted pictures similar to this online, right? Where it's you in some location, no big deal. Here's another one that I've used on this channel before that I've posted publicly without thinking about it, no big deal. But why am I talking about this? Well, Mr. Andrew Gao, once again, plays that game with his followers where they post a picture of where they are. Like, for example, here's an image. I actually would probably recognize it even without the text. I used to live not too far from here in Palo Alto, but people would send him pictures to try to stump him. Could you guess where this is? Could you guess the country? I mean, I can guess this is in California, but that's about it. Andrew Gao responds, somewhere in Vermont, Route 15, Mountain View Campground. I looked up those coordinates, so, I mean, we're getting close. So there's a road that turns left, and then there's like this snaking bend here at the river, maybe here. What's interesting is I can't find on Google Maps because Google Maps, whenever the Google truck drove through it, I think it was very sunny and green, so you can't see the river here. So it's just a different season. But the person responds, this is correct to within 15 miles. Looking at the location where I took this pic from on Google Earth, the foliage is roughly the same. I assume it's trained from Street View. No matter what, I'm still shocked. So yeah, maybe I guess it is similar. I wasn't able to find anything in Google that looks similar, but he's confirming that, yeah, this is within 15 miles of this Mountain View campground. Here's another one. Where could this be? I mean, I would guess Europe, maybe Eastern Europe based on the architecture, maybe, if I had to guess. Slovenia is so beautiful. Is that the St. Primo's Church? Yes. Here's another one. Can you guess where this is? Near St. James Park in downtown San Jose. Here's one from a morning run. Singapore Botanic Gardens at the gazebo. Boom. Somebody posts this one, winter one. The guess is Bosnia near Novi Tranic. No response, unfortunately, because this one looks like it would be very difficult to get. Here's another one. Now you can tell it's a Peet's Coffee, but it found that it's Berkeley, California. This is where it got weird for me. Okay, could you guess where in the world this is? There are no landmarks. There are no streets. Here's another picture from kind of the same area. This would be hard to figure out, right? Hoedspruit, South Africa. The response is not bad. So it looks like it was, I mean, I gotta say, that's freakishly close. I mean, it's in the correct sort of place on Earth from something as vague as these images. I mean, someone that maybe recognizes some of the trees that are native to that area could have said the country, but this is, 400 kilometers off. This is eerily close. Somebody posted this meat that they found on top of a trash can. I don't think you need AI for this. This is San Francisco. I guess the AI confirmed it. It did fail this one. It guessed Irvine Spectrum Center, which is an interesting guess because Irvine does have a lot of these eucalyptus trees, but apparently it was not that. It guesses this to be in, I'm guessing Pakistan misspelled. This predicted the exact street from a single picture. It predicted this to be Norway. This is the, from this picture it got State Park near Windsor. And from this, it got the Netherlands. This person's saying, I would be shocked if it could actually do this. A shopping center in North Carolina, USA. This person's saying, dang, that is close. So what is happening here? How is he able to so accurately guess these images, the locations? It's something called geospy.ai. So let's see if we can figure out where I am. I'm uploading the image now. It thinks I am in Israel. No, that is very far off. This one should be pretty easy. I mean, the fact that we're next to the ocean should make it pretty easy. California, San Diego. I mean, not quite. This is not by the ocean, but it's not that far off. But I gotta say, this is a little bit freaky. It's not always 100% correct, but it's a lot closer than you would expect. And what this means is that basically any photo that you posted online can now be traced to the exact location it was taken. Now, again, this is not perfect. Maybe it's going to get a lot better. Maybe this is as good as it gets, although I doubt it. But that's kind of a big deal for privacy. I mean, if you're trying to like cyber stalk somebody, not only is it going to be really good at doing it, but also right now, most people don't know this exists. Tons of us already posted various images that we didn't think about online. So you can go back and find those people from the images that they've posted previously. So yeah, just something to think about. In other news, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Ukraine creates what they call a digital person. This person will provide high quality, accurate information about the happenings, but this is AI. This is not a real person. Meanwhile, OpenAI completely changes up their website, putting ChatGPT first, but also talking about research, their new focus on business. They've been showcasing more and more businesses working with OpenAI and Sora. Each of those main focuses are broken down into categories and just made a lot more mobile friendly. It does sound like this redesign is just in time for whatever next thing they'll be announcing in May. But I think the main point is that we're entering the next generation, whatever that means. Whatever it brings, ChatGPT and the release of GPT-4 kicked off the race. Now everyone caught up to where OpenAI was a year plus ago. And now OpenAI will reset the cycle with agents, with Sora, with the search engine. Whatever the case is, it's about to get nutty. My name is Wes Roth. Thank you for watching and see you very, very soon.